Dude, my absolute favorite thing to do, as I'm sure it's your favorite thing to do. Welcome back to the Lazyriver, guys. Check this out. Tank maintenance. Ooh, 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 ooh. And in particular, I'm going to be trimming down all this guppy grass, transplanting it into other habitaciones, and cleaning off this scummy algae. So I hope you enjoy this video. Please comment, subscribe, like the video, and all that jazz. As always, I got that frog bit, baby. Frog bit for days. We gotta get this stuff out of here if we're going to even stand a chance of trimming this guppy grass. Now, we haven't gone ahead and taken all of it out, but you'll see that we still got a large portion. We've actually just taken it and thrown it next door in the Lazy Tangerine tank for now. Some of the folks out there are like, dang, I wouldn't want that to be my tank. Look at all that algae on the glass. Well, this channel isn't necessarily for everybody. I like the nature aquarium type of look. When I say nature aquarium, it may mean something totally different than what you're used to. When most people think about nature aquarium, they think of perfectly scaped aquascapes, beautiful rock structures and plants placed perfectly, because that's what nature is, isn't it? Yeah, on the contraire. I believe that nature is biofilm, stuff that's unevenly placed, plants growing out of control, rocks everywhere, algae, all that good stuff. Mowing. I know that many of you are like, oh my goodness, not all of those things. Well, like I said, maybe the channel isn't for you, but I hope that you do stick around to the very end. But I love those things, and that's the true nature aquarium for me. Anyways, let's get into this. The first thing that we'll want to do is to take all this algae off of the front of the glass so we can get a good look at what's going on inside. Ta-da! We've taken a small sponge filter and cleaned off the glass, and look at all of that guppy grass. It's growing right up towards the light. Oh my gosh, it's going insane. And to think that this only started with like 3 or 4 pieces. I just had been taking it from time to time, cutting it down and transplanting it in there. But yeah, that's what this is about. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to probably put a little bit more Amazonia soil on top and mix it in with this sand. We're going to push a couple things back, this planter, this Anubias, and some of this Anacrocelloidea, so we can just continue building this as our guppy grass tank. Look at that, we even got Mama Ghost in there. What are you doing, Mama Ghost? We even have added some Lazyriver tangerine fry. Now look, this is what I thought came from the original batch. That one right there in the middle doesn't really resemble the colors that we want, but that's okay. These other two have a little bit of a yellowish tint to them. That's still not the color we're looking for, but we did drop about 5-6 fry in here the other day that came from the Lazyriver tangerines, and we're starting to feel more hopeful. Anyways, let's get into this. Let me grab my aquarium scissors and we'll start cutting this grass. Let's mow that yard. So we're going to try to do this without dropping the camera into the water. We're going to go in there, start taking these down. Snip. 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 Holy cow, look at that. Those are going to be beautiful. Let's take down a couple others. How about this bad boy right here? Snip. There's another one next to it. Snip. Uh-oh. That's okay. That one will just grow. We'll have it free floating. It's not a big deal. Like I said, this is nature, man. Nature in glass. So we're kind of just gonna snip it, replant it, let it do its thing. That's what this is all about. Just enjoying your tanks. Don't worry what anybody else thinks, because we don't need to try to always impress others. We need to kind of just enjoy everything and go with the flow. That's how I'm trying to live life. I think that we're probably going to take this banana plant out of here. It's kind of cool. It's getting some reddish color on those leaves. I'm not necessarily keen on to where I'm going to put it. Let's just reach in there. Maybe we'll throw it next door. Let's take a look at it. As you see, there's some remnants of some assassin snail eggs on there. They could be fertile. I don't know. I don't really care. Let's just toss it back in over here. Who knows? If it stays in there, maybe we'll get some assassins in that tank as well. Even though we're trying to sell our snails, let's just let nature take its course. I don't know how many times I'm going to say that throughout this video, but I'm going to take another one right there without the scissors. Let me get all these guppy grass out of here, and we will start replanting them. Now you might ask yourself, how much is this guppy grass herb? Well, what I'm thinking is it's about $1 a stem. So you get 5 stems for $5, and like I said before, I'm generally pretty generous about everything, so I'll usually throw a couple extra stems, stem or two. Excuse me one moment while I get a container for this. Alrighty, so we've gone ahead and we've gotten all of those trimmings out right here in a cup. Now I'm going to get just a little bit of Amazonia soil and toss it in there. I keep this stuff in a little pail to the side of my fish tanks here in my fish loft. I'm basically just going to try to sift out what I need and get it into the tank. I'm trying not to drop it all. Go into the back a little bit. Probably messing up all those mama ghosts in there. That's alright. Things get kicked up in nature, don't they? We're gonna have a lot of dirt in here, so we're just gonna go ahead and keep putting in whatever we need for the soil and then get right back to you. So after that little fiasco of putting the dirt and mixing it in with the sand, and a couple hours later we have a clear tank, and we've been able to plant the rest of those guppy grass trimmings further to the back. They will continue to grow up towards the light as I've taken off the excess frog bit, and I'm assuming probably within the next week or two they will grow up quite a bit. So the main plan is to basically just make this a guppy grass grow out along with the other ones that we have. This one's getting taller, these are getting taller, and a few more down below. We showed you in the last video that we had this one right here which was attached to the wire. That's starting to go a little bit crazy. We've got a little bit now that's been eased into this sponge, and some more right here. But back up to this. So we said earlier in the video that each stem is going to be $1. So you'll get really long stems, and they may be cut down to half. So you maybe have 10 stems, but it's going to be the same price. It's going to be $5. And what that'll do is it'll allow you to use them as starters. Now I would look at them as starters, not as just full plants, because we need to wait and take some time for these results. Another thing to mention is that if you are purchasing plants from the Lazyriver, that you may want to follow a simple bleach dip method upon putting them in your aquarium. There will be a recipe for that. You can just Google it and you will find it right online. And there are some other videos. I haven't made a video on that, but you will be able to find that. Now the reason I'm recommending that is because in these tanks, as you all know, there have been evidence of hydra, there's some planaria worms, and different types of parasites of that nature. So if you don't really want those things, along with snail eggs that seem to find their way into your aquarium through these plants, I would recommend that you follow this simple bleach dip method. It works really well, and I think that you will be very happy with the results. So with that said, that's all we have for today. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Lazyriver, and we'll see you in the next episode. Until next time, stay lazy and adios.